Hello everyone, welcome to Where Swans Walk. Tonight I'm joined with Hugh, James and Rich. To discuss game week 4, burning issues, transfer deadline day, biggest derby in the league, and the Swans' third kit, which Hugh is currently wearing. Right, boys?
Evening.
Tell me, what is your burning issue from the first 4 games of the Championship?
I don't think it's much, really. I mean, lack of goals, but we've just signed a new striker, so hopefully that will sort that out. But even Vippy started to score as well, so I haven't got to complain about it at the moment, which makes a change for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, you think probably they're not taking any chances and having in other games, perhaps maybe other teams with a bit more quality would have taken the points off us. But, we've come away and we've done quite well out of the games we've had so far. And like Hugh says, we've strengthened quite nicely through this window.
I think for me, the main one for me is the isolation of our striker. It's still a feature of our game at the moment that we aren't getting bodies around the striker. If you look at our sort of average positions, there is a huge gap between what should be our 10, our wingers, and the striker. And obviously, if you want to score goals, like I said, you need to get bodies round the forward. It's pointless having them isolated up there. I hope that maybe during the international break, that's something that we can definitely work on, especially with the squad being a little bit more settled now. But it has been sort of a common theme right from the start of the season to where we are now. So I would say that would probably be the one burning issue that I could pick from it.
Yeah, I'd say the same, to be honest. If you asked me last week, I'd probably say creativity and lack of goals. But Potnick's finally stepping up with a few goals now. But yeah, I'd say the same. It's just getting the balls into the striker and the isolation of the striker. So with this week's game, well, last week's game now, what did we all think of it? I think they played very well, to be honest. I think the Potnick's goal was great. Showed a bit of creativity going forward and off the break as well, which we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's scoring with all parts of the body at the moment as well. Left foot, right foot, rockets, headers. Can't really ask for much more. I think first half we lacked probably a little bit of like cutting edge. Second half we put them away with 2 good goals. We dominated. We should have won by more if I'm honest, but can't complain. It's a comfortable victory. Dominated the ball, dominated stats, and overall not a lot to be unhappy with. Just maybe a couple more goals if you've been picky.
Potnick as well. He's one of those guys that just needs a couple of goals to get going. So I think a bit of an arm on the shoulder, and I'm sure he can get 20 goals. If he keeps up the rate he is, and with a lovely bit of creativity that we brought in. I'm licking my lips with Manuel Benson. That is a fantastic signing. That's a player that we usually wouldn't get. He'd be going to something like Leicester or Southampton or something like that.
Even their fans didn't too happy about him going out on loan.
No, I've seen one guy describe it as losing a loved one. He said that seeing him go out on loan was akin to losing a loved one. So I think that kind of tells you all you need to know from the Burnley fans' perspective of him leaving. Yeah. I can't believe they're letting him go out on loan. I think he's a fantastic player. And I think if we can, like I said, solve the creativity problems, he'll score a bag full for us and then set or even more. I'm really excited about him.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've all mentioned Manuel Benson, who was held gunshot at Premier League media day. We've all seen the clip outside Rossi's. Transfers window shut yesterday, 24 hours ago. What are our thoughts on the transfer window? Are we happy? Are we sad? Are we disappointed? Are we optimistic?
Well, it's terrible, wasn't it? Having 12 players in, it was absolutely amazing. To get, I don't think I could have wished for a better window. You could have, like you say, maybe a flary, creative central player, but, we can't have everything. But we've got all the positions we wanted. Left back, left-hand side, and a striker. That was the three we went into. Usually we come up with nothing. So, brilliant.
I'd say solid 10 out of 10 for me. Again, just look at the difference. When you've got people who are competent at the job in Adam Worth and Richard Montague, they clearly know what they're doing. They're running the show excellently at the moment. And also, again, it comes back to having owners that have the ambition and the enthusiasm to invest in the project. it's just so nice to see us acting like a responsible club at the moment. And like I said, we've been so poorly run for years that, yeah, it's 10 out of 10. I can't complain at all. I think the club have gone above and beyond this window. So hats off to Richard Montague and to Adam Worth for that window.
Yeah, I can't disagree. 10 out of 10 for me. Arguably the best transfer window we've had since we were starting to build ourselves in the Premier League, I'd say. We filled pretty much every position, like Rich says. We've got depth. We've got some unbelievable players. We've got some exciting players. And we all talked about how exciting it was off the field for the last few months. I mean, it's exciting on the field now as well, which is what we need ultimately, right? So, yeah, it's all looking good. Just need to back the boys and see how we get on.
I was expecting someone to leave that was going to be high profile as well. There's always a shocker somewhere. You know, you bring in a £6 million striker, you think someone's going somewhere. There's going to be an offer and it's around that. But no, window shut and you're like, still time. Maybe tomorrow they'll announce something. But no, it's so far so good.
And that's the big statement, right? That in years gone by, we would have definitely done that. The Yanks would have sold as much as they could. They would have sold the car park. This big players, we've built on it as well, right? So I think it's as important as signing those 11, 12 players is keeping the key ones like you mentioned, Rich. And we've done both this year, which is something we couldn't have dreamed of a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Usually deadline day is a horror show for us as a fan base. Like I said, over the years, you had the Dan James stuff. You had the thing where Matt Grimes was allegedly sitting in a services waiting to go to Fulham. You know, there was always that thing of we're going to get rid of our crown jewel and get absolutely nothing in to replace it. I know the only Swans boys were talking last night about how different it is compared to a few years ago where we were chasing Chidozie Ogbene to end up with Armstrong Okaflex, who was shocking for us here. We literally went for a player that was fantastic and then ended up with some guy who'd never played senior football and was, well, yeah, probably the less said about that transfer, the better. But yeah, it's a real statement of intent and it's just nice to see us being ambitious and really sort of believing in the project. So yeah, it's refreshing and yeah, long may it continue.
In all fairness, I heard about the Matt Grimes ones. He was trying to get up the M4, but he was going backwards. It's fucking reverse.
So a lot of optimism around the transfer window. Well, it's a 10 out of 10, really, isn't it? You know, 12 players in, and hardly any of the big stars have gone. And some competition now with Manuel Benson coming in for Ronald. Maybe he'll step up his game. You know, and I was thinking on Saturday with the Vupotnik performances in the last couple of weeks, there's always been a talk of a striker coming in. I'm thinking that's like kind of clicked in his head now that he needs to step up a bit, score goals to fight for his place, and it's showing. Maybe the 20 goal a season striker was with us all along.
Yeah.
Gives you a bit of change of shape with a new striker as well. I think, you know, he's pacey Ida. You know, he can perhaps even have a 3 up top, you know, with Ida off with Vupotnik and then pushing someone on the right. Then I'm not, you know, got abundance of players to play there now. It's great.
Yeah.
I think my one concern with it though is we talk about isolation and getting bodies around the striker. Adam Ida's goals come from short range goals usually and thrive on bringing people into play. So we are definitely going to have to work on that. If we're going to get the best out of him, which I hope we will, I hope that people have looked at him and gone, right, this is what we need to do to get the best out of him, to get him to score 10, 15, 20 goals, is they're going to have to get players around him. So we have to know. Now, I think we've got the players to do it. It's just whether we implement that correctly. I think if we do use him to his strengths, we've got a fantastic player on our hands.
Yeah, completely agree. I don't think we've done anything wrong this window. We haven't panicked. We haven't looked at stuff. There's been rumours about Kone and people, but you look at the fact that the Ida stuff came out of nowhere, right? Came out of nowhere. Celtic initially weren't even looking to sell him, right? So it's clear to me that they've looked at him. He fits part of the plan, and they brought him in and paid that much for a reason. So yeah, I agree with you, James. But I think we will. I think we will play to his strengths, and it's a nice challenge, you know, to have 2 decent strikers at the top now, and Cullen as well as backup, and the fact we've kept Vippy as well, I think is a huge statement. Yeah.
So with the transfers, sitting pretty at 7th, 2 wins, 1 draw, and a loss. Does the transfer window now being closed fill you with more optimism than it did at the start of the season?
I'd say yes. I think it's definitely. I think we said let's assess it when it closes, and I think you look at that squad now. I think for the first time since we've been out of the Premier League, we're too deep in every position. So they know there is sufficient cover across the board, and more importantly, it's quality. I would say it does bring with it a weight of expectation. So I do think that now anything less than top 10, and I think I touched on it last week, I said failure. Maybe some people would say that would be too harsh of a word, but I think when you look at the players, you've got 2 times promoted winger there. You've got a guy who's played for the biggest club in Scotland. You've got quality across the board, 2 fantastic strikers. Now you have to be aiming for inside that top 10. I think anything less than top 10, and I think it's squandered potential then. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it now, especially now that we've got the cover in.
I think there's no reason why you can't go for a playoff push, but you got to look at some of the other teams, the way they strengthened as well. There's some big money transfers going through yesterday. I can't say I recognise some of the names that are coming in, but they're going for 10 million plus. Southampton, Ipswich, those kind of guys, they're going to be stronger than they were at the start of the season. I'm glad we played Sheffield United early because they strengthened quite nicely yesterday. So I think it's going to be game by game. We're just going to have to take it as it comes, not get too ahead of ourselves and just see how it goes. But there's no reason why we can't be in the right side of the table, like James says, rather than that relegation sort of slump middle table like we usually are in the last few years.
Yeah, spot on. Completely agree with both of you. I think there is a weight of expectation now. We've strengthened so well. We've got such a deep squad with decent players as well. But I don't think not getting promoted is going to be a abject failure. But yeah, I think top 10 is a minimum really with that squad. The pressure's on Sheehan, don't get me wrong, but back him. I reckon we can do it. And playoff pushes without merit. I think we can get there as well. You look at Ipswich last year; they didn't spend crazy money, came up from the year before, and they went straight up against some of the big boys who'd come down from the year before. So just because they've got parachute payments doesn't always mean they're going to go straight back up as well. Look at Luton, 2 relegations in a row. So who knows? We'll have to see.
So you're talking about Luton going down to League One. Unfortunately, no South Wales derby for us this season. With that being said, which is now the biggest derby in the Championship season?
Well, I think it's going to be South Coast derby, isn't it? I think outside of ours, it's probably one of the more fierce ones of the two. Like I said, they absolutely detest one another, and you just hear the way their fans talk about it. And I think it'll be an exciting one as well. Portsmouth are looking much better. I mean, they got Connor Chaplin yesterday, so they've strengthened really, really well. So I think for me, I'd say it's got to be the South Coast derby. I don't think anything comes remotely close to it at the moment.
The relegation boys, Sheffield, Steel City.
Yeah. But
that's always big, isn't it? There's a few tasty ones, always a few London clubs playing each other as well, But
I think
I don't know, what about the celebrity derby? The Swans and Wrexham.
North and South.
Don't go there.
Vicious rumours Snoop Dogg will be down for that one, flying in.
I think Ipswich and Norwich is potential. It's got a bit of taste about it as well, especially when you look at the fact that they just signed one of their players from across the city as well.
The
way they announced that.
I was going to say East Anglian as well. Just simply for that transfer, it's going to be a lot more intense now.
Definitely, I agree with James. I think it's the Southampton Portsmouth is probably the tastiest of the lot. But there's a couple in there. There's a few.
We have forgot one though, boys. One, and it's really, really a really big one. It's Coventry against everyone. they love to force a rivalry, don't they? So we've forgotten that one, and we they love to force a rivalry because they haven't got a direct one of their own. So Coventry versus the other, is it the 23 teams in the division?
Galbraith every week. Grimes. Come on.
Swansea B.
Yeah. Right. Well, we may as well move on then to the third kit. We've spoken about the away kit, the home kit. Now it's time for the golf racing car in the top right corner.
It's classic.
What do we think of it?
Instant classic. You look at how the rest of social medias respond to it. Even rival clubs, other clubs around us, every single person said it's the best kit of the season. Top Gear did an article on it. Everybody's loved it. I think it's an instant win. It's a great bit for the fans, but also it'd be nice to see us wearing it and playing it as well.
I think a nice piece as well is the design of the badge this year as well. It's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's a classic improvisation of what we've had. I think that's the best badge we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I think literally every single thing about it is just outstanding. I don't think I've seen one person have any sort of criticism about it at all. I mean, you look at it, it's just a work of art. I don't know whether to wear it or frame it, if I'm being honest with you guys. But yeah, I can't wait to see the first match of us playing with that. It's going to be so nice. And like you said, the fact that other clubs are so complimentary about it, you don't often see that anymore. Like usually the people nitpick it or compare it to something awful, but no, I think everyone across the board likes it. I'm pretty sure that'll be a favourite with shirt collectors in a few years. That'll probably go for a fair few quid, I reckon, in about 5-10 years' time.
Yeah,
easy,
definitely.
Easy. I was talking to my dad about it, and he literally, without hesitation, went down the day it was released and bought it. Like, no hesitation. He said this going to be worn either to death or it's going to be kept sealed and going to be an investment. But yeah, no criticism from me on it. It's a stunner. It's a beauty of a shirt. And you say rival fans saying that it's a stunner, no nitpicking is something very rare these days.
Just adds to what we said, right? The club are backing us on and off the pitch. They're doing everything right. Cannot fault anything they've done. All right, there's a couple of issues around the ticketing systems and stuff, but that's minor compared to all the big decisions they've done on the big stuff. The kits is, it's minor at the end of the day. I'd rather get promoted in a horrible kit than come 12th in a lovely one. But ultimately, if we've got everything going right, then it's a big thing, right? And they've done it all. They've backed us.
The first time in a while there's a feel-good factor on the club. Not just on the pitch, outside it, in the stands, in the kit even. So, yeah, we're really excited where these kits and this team take us this season.
No pressure.
But yeah, well, unless anybody else has got something to say, or another burning issue from the last 4 games, I think that's the end of this pod. Very nice, easy, simple one tonight, guys.
Happy days.
Nice one.
And easy.
Good boys.
Right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for turning up to this pod on a Tuesday night rather than a Monday night. Cheers, boys. Thank you.
No worries.
All the best, lads.